Hey guys, it's Caroline and I'm here today with another video, something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about the acting world, and I get so many personal questions about this just from people who know that I'm a working actress, kind of what I do to sustain myself while I'm not working on set or while I'm auditioning, while a strike is going on, for example, which we did experience this past year. So I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys just about my experience as a working actress and kind of the ways that I make money in between what I do on the side or what I do kind of as another facet of myself, which I feel like a lot of people, if you are a working actor, you will understand this. Like, there's no set path to landing that role that you want to land. There's no set path to getting that audition that you want to get. It's more of like kind of that path looks very, very different to each individual. One day you might get an audition for a pilot, a series regular, and by Friday you might be on set. So it just really varies between people, and I know some people that it's happened really quickly to and others that hasn't. And you know, I've kind of been in the acting world during COVID, which was very, very, very different for a lot of reasons. And then last year, like I said, we experienced the SAG-AFTRA strike, which was definitely kind of long overdue, but at the same rate, so many working actors were out of work during that time. So it's like, how do you maintain, you know, your lifestyle in LA, a living while things like that are going on? And I think I've, you know, maybe not cracked the code, but I think I've learned how to kind of balance that world and then balance a personal life and working. So I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. So prior to kind of going and doing acting, quote unquote, full time, which I do not work full time yet, but I am actively auditioning and really excited about some of the things that I have been working on. That's the goal ultimately, right? To be a full-time working actress. Prior to this, I did work a corporate job. I actually worked at Goop, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's brand, right out of college, and which was amazing. I interned there for forever. I loved working there. Nothing bad to say about my experience. I just always knew that working a corporate job was not going to be for me, and whether that's for any, maybe like you're like me, you're like a girly girl and you're like, oh, like I would love to working at Vogue is like the dream, right? Or some fashion house. I feel like though I always knew that I wouldn't be able to have a career like that and then also balance my love and my passion for acting. And that kind of leaves you with this world of creativity. It's like, how do I still make money while pursuing that passion? Sorry, I just needed to move the hair a little bit. Because I worked at Goop for a number of years, I kind of started to understand the world of marketing. So my background is in business and psychology. Those were my two majors actually. And I basically started to think about brands while I was at Goop that I still really loved and I admired, but needed help on a freelance at home situation. So freelance basis, contracted basis, where I could do all of the work that I, for example, was doing at Goop at home. So for me, I really narrowed down that social media was my bread and butter. I know how to edit YouTube videos, for example. I know how to run social media accounts. So for me, I decided to go full force with a little marketing agency. I started doing social media for influencers. That was kind of the time where Reels started to become really popular. TikTok videos started to become really popular. So I kind of honed in on my craft of learning social media, and I started to apply to part-time contract jobs, websites like Upwork, for example, or freelance sites. You can find freelance work even on LinkedIn. That's a great place to start. That's kind of how I started to get my footing. I just kind of applied to one thing and it basically matriculated into a bunch of other clients. The first client that I started with was actually a local influencer here in Los Angeles, and she was so sweet and connected me to a multitude of other people. One of them actually ended up being my business partner and mentor, Janet Gunn of the Grateful Gardenia. So it really just does kind of, when you set your mind to something, things, like if you really do start, things will kind of unfold for you. So that's how I did it. The shortened version of this is basically I started a social media marketing agency that I could work from home, or if I needed to kind of have shoots, I would tell people, hey, like, you know, I can work on Tuesday from this time to this time. And I kind of cleared my schedule, worked it around my schedule, and then just charged an hourly fee for shooting, or I kind of established ongoing contracts with these bigger brands who I would run social media for. So 2 ways that I kind of made my marketing agency possible is really determining my hourly rate and determining a contract basis rate. So the goal with like myself, for example, was to establish at least 3 to 4 contracted clients so that I knew what was coming in each month, and I would keep them on a 3-month retainer fee. So that kind of helped know how many months they were at least going to commit, and honestly all of them continued. So that's also comforting to know. Make sure that you do exceptional work from the get-go, and I've had clients now for 4 or 5 years, even in college. So start with that. I would say start building kind of one client at a time. Like if you're still working your job, whether you're a waitress, whatever you do, just establish one client at a time. Start with one, kind of build from there. Whether that's a hairdresser, for example, that needs social media help, or you're really gifted at YouTube editing. People always need that assistance because it's so time consuming, and they really will source out to good people. Start with one client and kind of build up from there is my advice to you. So yeah, now basically I live 2 lives. I'm like pursuing this acting career, and then I'm also running a full-fledged social media marketing agency, which, wink wink, if any of you guys need social media help in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles area, you know who to ask. I absolutely love what I do. I am equally as passionate about growing my marketing agency as I am becoming an actress. I don't feel like they are like, it's like one on this side and the other is on this side. I feel like they are both such creative fields, and I love strategizing. I love coming up with new marketing ideas. And I feel like I've been very blessed and very lucky to work with the people that I do work with. One of them being my business partner and mentor, who also was an actress. So it really helps in a lot of ways because she gives me such amazing advice. So really start with narrowing down what you're good at and what you can freelance for. So if you're really, really, really good at YouTube editing, start reaching out to people who need YouTube help. Start following people who you really enjoy and DM them like, hey, like, you know, if you ever need YouTube help, I'm really good at this. That might be a great way to start. Or start with like a job listing that's posted online. Upwork, for example, is an amazing website to find freelance work like that. Come up with a portfolio of projects that you've done previously so that people can review your work, that kind of stuff. I remember years ago whenever I was just like working my corporate job, and I was like, how am I going to become an actress? At the end of the day, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. I want to act, I want to produce, and beyond. And I remember YouTubing something along the lines of like how to make it as an actress, or how to make money as an actress, how to make ends meet. And I remember one of the tips that this woman was giving, I believe she was a manager, and she was like, you just, as an actor, you have to have multiple sources of income. So start establishing that. For example, I know some actors who work events like over the weekends. In the evenings they get paid $400 or $500 in a night. So that's also something to look into. I've never personally done that, but I think I would be looking into that if, you know, I didn't have the social media stuff. Focus on what you're good at and then sell it and do it remotely. That's my like number one tip, I would say. As we know, this industry is so unpredictable. Like, it's been open, it's been closed, it's been COVID, it's been not COVID. So yeah, it is very unpredictable. So having a positive mindset no matter what, I do think is very, very, very important. Oh, another thing I just remembered, one of my friends that I met on set, she's actually a Disney princess. So that is also, I feel like, something for you to look into if you are an aspiring actor or actress. I know they have great kind of scholarship benefits that come from that, and you can get your SAG card, I believe, that way as well if you are trying to get into the union. Another thing that I do is I self-submit. So I do have an agent, actually 2 agents and a manager, but I self-submit too. So I'm on Actors Access, and then I'm on, I call it LA Casting, but I know it's like casting networks. And I'm self-submitting all the time. There's a lot of like UGC content that is requested from people. Done a lot of like hair care UGC content and makeup content. So that's also another way to kind of find like freelance extra work on, which I definitely recommend self-submitting and auditioning that way too, because sometimes my agents are not seeing that, and it's typically lower pay, and so they won't be kind of submitting me on that because it won't even go to agents or managers. But that's also a way to build your portfolio as an actor and get paid too. So definitely check that out. One of my favorite tips too that I would recommend to all aspiring actors and actresses, and maybe I'm giving away like the biggest secret, I don't think I am, and gyms will be flooded, but I got a part-time job at a gym, and it was one of the best things for me because not only do you get your membership covered, some of these gyms offer healthcare benefits, so you, even as a part-time employee, so that is just key. I would say that you get healthcare benefits that way, and that you also get a free gym membership, because as actors and actresses, unless you're obviously a specific type and you need to maintain a specific weight, a lot of the times they're telling you make sure you're exercising, staying in shape, all of those things in a healthy and safe manner. But it's an amazing way to get your gym membership paid for. And I mean, I worked at a bougie gym, so why not get it covered, you know, and then make some friends along the way. A lot of the times there's at least 1 or 2 actors that will work with you at the front desk or the spa where you work, so at a gym. So it's kind of a fun way to meet other actors and just make other friends, especially since LA can be a hard place to make friends if you are based in LA as an actor. I'm not sure about Atlanta and New York, other places, but sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to make friends if you come out here specifically for acting. So I definitely recommend joining a gym. I feel like I kind of just gave away the biggest kind of like tip, but I would do it all over again. I would work front desk at a gym, and you make so many connections, like even with the members who go to a specific gym. It is just it's very helpful. I feel like I'm very up close now. I hope that this was really helpful. I feel like had I known these things starting out as an actress, I feel like I would have been a little bit more equipped. And you know what? Everybody has to learn. Everybody has to grow. Another thing I just wanted to share with you guys, and maybe this is more of a like acting 101 instead of like how to make ends meet as an actor, but I highly recommend getting an acting coach and filming with them, at least for the first couple years until you're really comfortable filming self-tapes by yourself. I made the mistake of just filming them by myself and nobody was really looking at them, and the second I started to work with an audition coach and upload them, I started booking. So just, it is expensive in a way, but it's like this industry in a lot of ways you have to kind of hurry up and spend and then wait, and so you have to find peace with that too. So yeah, highly recommend getting an acting coach. Hopefully this helps you guys kind of cut some corners, and yeah, feel free to ask me any questions you may have.